What up, what up, what up? It's your homeboy B Watt, and you are now tuned in to another episode of Cancel B Watt. Listen, guys, this should not come as a surprise to anybody who has been alive for more than 25 years and has seen the evolution of hip-hop since its inception. There has been a war on black people, and the hip-hop, rap, trap, and drill music industry is one of its primary battlegrounds. Hip-hop is still a very young genre of music. Unlike blues or rock and roll, for instance, which have been around for more than 100 years, hip-hop only really popped off in like the 80s. So what? Hip-hop is like 40 years old? Think about it. Not all, but most of the pioneers of hip-hop are still alive. Hip-hop came out of New York, took the world by storm, but honestly, ever since the 90s and pretty much the beginning of gangster rap, the world, and more specifically the black community, has went to shits. Currently, in the 2020s, we have an entire culture surrounding a genre of music which uses hypnosis to lure young black men into gang indoctrination and lead them ultimately to participate in a very violent street war. In this drill music-driven war game, the opposing team apparently receives points when they're able to delete an opposing player, commonly referred to as opposition, and preferably on sight. And no, people, this is not a game. This is not PS5. This is not Modern Warfare. This is real life. And of course, these kids don't know what they're doing. They haven't been trained on how to properly operate a firearm. So most of the time, it's innocent bystanders, like many of you listening to me right now, that lose their lives for some shit that they are not involved in. But hear me out. Although you may not be involved with this, you do condone it. If local governments, city officials, policemen, and the general public honestly cared about all the young black men dying from drill rap shootings, they might actually consider just not playing gang war songs on the radio more than 25 times a day. It would be nice to be able to ride in the car with our teenage sons and daughters without having to passively celebrate the black genocide. Yep, that would probably be a good start. And for those with ears to hear, listen up. The black community is not really ready to discuss all the dark shit that we were exposed to during slavery. One of those things is hypnosis. Black people were kept under constant hypnosis during slavery. A good movie for those who are interested in understanding this concept is Get Out. In Get Out, there's a white woman who's playing Kris Jenner, and she stirs the spoon in the tea glass. And a black guy playing Kanye West will go into the sunken place. Anyways, they used hypnosis on us for a long time during slavery. They have been knowing about hypnosis since the 18th century. So that's at least 200 of the 400 years that they could have been using extreme and violent forms of hypnosis on black American slaves. They are still hypnotizing us through the use of music. Music, sound, and vibration are some of the most powerful forces in the universe. No matter what dialect you may speak, we can all understand melodies. A beautiful melody can stay in your mind for days, for weeks, especially when the radio keeps playing the same damn song all day, every day. That's why these drill songs are so catchy and repetitive. And here's some real knowledge for my conscious musicians out there. In America, they didn't change the whole frequency of the musical scale. If you go to other places on the planet and play an A minor chord, for example, which an A would be 440 hertz, you wouldn't even be in the same key as the other musicians. Because like I said, these people didn't change the entire frequency of the musical scale here. It has been changed by 2 hertz. This new scale resonates with dark forces. These dark scales and dark chords are used in the music that we listen to every day, especially the 808 subwoofer. 808s resonate with your lower chakras in very unhealthy ways. For anybody who is interested in the science behind this, simply Google 432 hertz music and discover the healing properties of God's natural frequency of music. And I implore you, don't just take my word for it. Go ahead and do your own research. Okay? So now that the powers that were, the real enemies of the black community, have successfully enslaved us for 400 years and re-indoctrinated us into a new form of slavery that takes much less of their personal time and doesn't require their presence, they are now on to their next mission. And here's a very important question. Who are the real enemies of black people in America? I will give you a hint. The real enemies of black people in America are not white people. That is bullshit propaganda to distract us from our true enemies. And if you would like to know who the true enemies of the black community are, then you have to go to cancelbwat.com and log on. That is my own website on my own servers. I can say whatever I want to on there. I'm trying my best to grow this channel without disrespecting YouTube or their artificially intelligent algorithm. So hear me out. It is not white people who are the enemies of the black community. So this white versus black war needs to end immediately. We now both have a common enemy. And the new mission of this common enemy is the emasculation of manhood, more specifically of black manhood, and the destruction of his self-image. Let me ask you a question. Why are all these rappers so fruity all of a sudden? It was not always like this. I mean, for a really long time, wasn't hip-hop more homophobic? And I'm not going to front. Although Kanye West is a god on this channel, ever since Kanye wore that pink polo, he has opened the door for many rappers who have come behind him. Pause. Kanye West has given this new generation of rappers the confidence that they need to live in their truth. And nobody is living in that truth more than the biracial, bisexual, issue rap superstar himself, Drizzy Drake. Let me ask you a question. Why is Drake wearing barrettes, hair clips, and fingernail polish all of a sudden? And I thought because of Drake's religious affiliation, if you know what it is, I thought he was going to be exempt from the Illuminati humiliation rituals, but nah. They told Drake that it's time for you to have the black artist experience. Drake is being fake about it too. I don't respect that, Drake. Now that it's your turn to pop out for these music industry predators, you want to have a tummy ache and take a break from music. Nah, Drizzy. You're going to have to kiss a nigga just like Birdman and Wayne had to do. And sorry, Wayne. I love Lil Wayne. He is my all-time favorite rapper, and he is the actual GOAT. But that shit happened. And I don't know if Drake is really gay or not. I don't care either. It doesn't matter because whether he likes it in the butt or not, he's promoting gay shit. People worship Drake. And if he does some gay shit, any teenager can reasonably conclude that if Drake does it, then it's okay. Maybe it's even cool, right? And let's not forget that last year Drake dropped a gay album. Beyonce did too. Y'all remember when Drake was talking about, you know how sticky it gets? That shit was whack. It was a dance club album for kids who like to go to rave parties, wearing shades, dancing with glow sticks and shit. And then Aubrey Graham, a Caucasian man, pretending to be a biracial black rapper, does another openly gay album with 21 Savage. Yeah, that boy was talking about 21, want you holla at my pussy at for me. I was like, excuse me, Drake? What did that boy just say? Y'all know y'all saw them hilarious memes of Drake and 21 Savage booty popping and whatnot. Them cartoons. Then Drake come back talking about girls like girls. You say you a lesbian, well, me too. And now this part Negro Drake is rapping that he is bi and you're one of the guys. I can honestly say that I am disappointed in Drake, but I am not surprised because Drake, he prays with those guys. He doesn't pray with us. Drake is from Canada. He's not from America. Nothing's wrong with Canada. Shout out to Canada. But Drake is not a black American, and he is not a Christian. And peep this. I'm about to bring it up. Let's talk about it. Where are all my Degrassi fans at? Where's everybody who used to watch Degrassi? Let me ask you this. Was there not a few episodes where Wheelchair Jimmy was struggling with his sexuality? Wasn't there a Degrassi episode where Wheelchair Jimmy had gay pornography falling out of his locker at school? There's another episode where Wheelchair Jimmy, Drake was on Degrassi grabbing a man's ass, coming on to him in a very sexual way. So listen, Aubrey ain't new to this. He is true to this. Aubrey been in the industry. And this is my last point because I can go all day. I can go on and on about this particular culture vulture. But everybody knows that Drake is backed by mob ties and Jay Prince. Shout out to H-Town. And listen, a couple of years ago, I read Jay Prince's biography, and I have also spent some time studying and trying to understand who this man really is. At best, he's a trailblazing music executive. At worst, he's a southern regional gatekeeper of the Illuminati. But one thing that I always found interesting about Jay Prince is that he said when he was raising his sons, he never allowed them to listen to rap music. Now, for a man who was making millions from the sale of rap music, it's interesting that he forbid his own children from listening to it at all. And look, there are people in the hood who have sold dope, but they're not taking that shit themselves. My advice is to be smart and follow Jay Prince's lead. Stop allowing your children to listen to the music that is causing their own self-destruction. And as always, let me know what you think about this. I want y'all to hop in the comments. I got a couple of questions for y'all. Are you familiar with hypnosis, and did you know that music could be used as a form of hypnosis? Are you going to allow your children to listen to drill music, even though it may result in them being involved in a homoerotic gang war shootout? What do you think about Drake coming out the closet? Are you still going to let your kids listen to Drake now that he has pledged his allegiance to the LGBTQ plus pound agenda? And I gotta be honest with y'all, I'm sick of Drake. I might do a whole video about who this man really is and all the whole shit that this man has done. Yeah, I said that. If you know, you know. And if you know, hop in the comments and let's talk about it. Hop in the comments if you want me to expose Champagne Poppy. Do y'all think that Drake could fight? I want to see Drake fight. That boy didn't want to fight Chris Brown. I want to see Drake fight one-on-one too. I don't want to see your bodyguard slipping and sliding on some Triple X pudgy ass nigga. Y'all know Drake pudgy. Probably don't move that well. But look, I want to see you handle your business on your own, Drizzy. Negro done peed on you. Diddy done slapped you. Wayne done slapped you. You ran from the fade with sauce. Let me stop before I get myself in trouble. Listen, y'all listen, like, subscribe, and tune in again to another episode of Cancel Be White.